All right, in our last example, let's go ahead and solve a real life scenario. A rectangular wall has an entrance cut into it. You want to paint the wall. To the nearest square foot, what is the area of the region you need to paint? All right, so let's just break it down. So we have a rectangular wall, which is this wall right over here. And we want to paint the wall. So how much should we paint? We notice here that there's a little arch. So it looks like we just need to, what on earth? We need to find out what all of this is. And then we just have to subtract it from this wall right over here. Let me do a different color. From this right over here, okay? So we need to find a bunch of stuff. What else are we noticing? I noticed that this right here is a semicircle, so we're gonna have to find the area of a circle and then maybe divide it by 2 since it's a semicircle. And then I also noticed that this right here is a rectangle, is a quadrilateral. All right, so let's break this up. First, let's find out the entire wall. So the entire wall is a giant rectangle. We have 36 feet by 10 plus 16 over here. This is a total of 26. So 36 times 26 is going to equal, I don't know, I'm not that smart of a person, 936. Okay, so this is where we start, and then we have to start taking away some stuff. All right, what's the next thing that we can find out? I'm taking a look at this little quadrilateral right over here. Let's see. Across it is 16. And up and down is 16 as well. So this is actually a square. 16 times 16. So this is the entrance. We'll say that this is the square portion. So I'm breaking it down, square portion. Okay, and which is just 16 times 16. 16 squared is what? I'm not that smart of a person. 256. All right, and the last thing we need to find out is how much does this semicircle take up? All right, so remember, area of a circle is pi r squared. What is our radius? Our radius is, well, our diameter is 16. If our diameter is 16, that means that our radius is half of it, 8. So the area is pi 8 squared, or let's square this, 64 pi. All right. So this is the area of a whole circle, right? But if we want half a circle, then we're just going to do what? Divide it by 2. So the area of our semicircle equals 64 pi divided by 2, which is the same thing as saying 64 divided by 2 is 32 pi. Cool. So let's just fill it in now. So this is the other part of the entrance, which is the semicircle, which is worth 32 pi. All right, so what are we gonna do with all of these values? With the 936, the 256, and the 32 pi? Well, if the entire wall is 936, we're going to subtract 256, and then also subtract 32 pi. Okay. The entire wall, 936, minus 256. So 680 so far, and let's subtract 32 pi. Minus 32 pi. About approximates to 579.46. And what does it say? It says to round to the nearest square foot. Okay, so to the nearest square foot then, if this is 579.4, if it's just 0.4, Then let's round it down to 579 feet squared. Squared because this is area that we want to paint. And that's how we can use the area of a circle to find out that semicircle and then find out the area of this whatever. What is it? A wall that we're trying to paint. Okay, that's it. Bye.